are in Bangkok, Thailand. I'm Mick Maloney, and with Kon Usani Yangon. I'm probably saying your name wrong.
Jangan.
Yangon, oh well. Anyway, it's Usani. I always call her Kon Usani. Kon is the prefix for the polite prefix for people in Thailand. And I met Kon Usani for the first time at the Mercy Centre, and this concert, of course, this annual concert is to raise money for the Mercy Centre. And it's been in existence in Bangkok for, we figured out, just about 50 years. Founded by Father Joe Meyer and Sister Maria.
Yes.
And they co-founded it. It's run by Catholic priest and a Catholic nun, but in no way does it try to convert anybody. That's not the purpose. The purpose of the organization is to take care of street children. Some of them are orphans, some of them the parents are in jail, have gone missing, one way or another. That literally thousands of children that have ended up being cared for by the Mercy Centre have nowhere else to turn. Kon Usani often says, mercy is everything for those who have nothing.
Yes.
So anyway, I arrived there about I'd say 18 years ago, and I read a book by Father Joe Meyer called Welcome to the Slaughterhouse. And I picked it up and I was fascinated with the stories of the children that had been saved from horrible fates and were living at the Mercy Centre. And I called up and said the famous 3 words that get you into trouble everywhere in the world: can I help? And I've been going there now for many years. The first job I had was with a great piper called John Murphy, and Father Joe put us to work. The children who were there, 1/3 of the children at that time, and still were born with HIV/AIDS. And they were put in a special ward, and they were coughing a lot at night time, and some of them unable to go to sleep. So Father Joe asked me and John Murphy to go in, and I played the octave mandolin, and John Murphy played the low whistle. And suddenly, in about 15 minutes, magically, the children were asleep. I don't think there's ever been an experience I've had in my life like that. And John said, in his own sardonic way, he's passed away a few years ago and I miss him a lot. John said, well, we've graduated from driving people out the door to putting them to sleep. And we were glad to do that. In more recent years, I've been involved in a fundraising capacity with the mighty Joni Carroll, who will speak after me, for the Mercy Centre to help raise funds. A lot of the funds are raised in America by philanthropists. The mighty Chuck Feeney gave a lot of money, but so did a man called John Cook in Atlanta to create the building that now houses all the children and the activities of the Mercy Centre. And I only came along really in recent times. Kon Usani here is going to tell us what it was like in those early years and the challenges that were faced by the Mercy Centre.
Thank you, Kun Mick. Sawadee ka. Hello, everyone. My name is Usani Jangan. I'm the senior advisor for the Mercy Centre and also the chairwoman for an organization called the Little Birds. Mercy started, when Mercy first started, I wasn't there. It started in 1972 with Father Joe Meyer and Sister Maria walking the slums. They wanted to know, Father Joe especially wanted to know, as a Catholic priest and Sister Maria as a Catholic nun, what does people in the slaughterhouse community needs from them.
Why was it called the slaughterhouse?
Because in those days they would slaughter pigs.
But the Buddhists wouldn't do that, or the Muslims, no?
I think that's the first place why Father Joe selected that area, or why the parish church gave him that area, so that he can help the people who live within the slaughterhouse area, because pigs were crying, and grandmothers and also children, they couldn't sleep.
And it was the Vietnamese Catholics that were killing the pigs, because the Buddhists and the Muslims.
Yes.
The Muslims won't eat pork, and the Buddhists do, but they want somebody else to do the killing.
Yes, and I think it was a purpose, a real good purpose for Father Joe and Mother Maria to start at the slaughterhouse. So they were walking around. In those days, they would call it slums, but of course nowadays they call it community. So they were walking in the slums in those days and asking the community, how can I help you? How can I help you? And the first thing that they noticed was there were young babies, so young kids aging between 2.5 to 6 years old, being left by themselves or running around the slums. So from that day on, in 1972, they turned slums into a preschool to provide education, to provide a safe place for children between 2.5 to 6 years old, so that parents can go out to work and earn money.
They really created the first kindergartens in the whole country, I hear.
Yes, they did. It was the first preschool or kindergarten that they first started, and basically the purpose of it is to create a safe place for those children 2.5 to 6 years old, and also to educate not just the children but also the whole community that how important education is, and to be able to make sure that young kids or babies like that get good nutritious meal.
Yeah.
Because in those days, fruit, don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Good cooked meal. Well, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't get it.
Right, but also, Chuck Feeney always knew, the great philanthropist, that the cornerstone of every successful society is good health and good education.
Yes.
And that's the only way out of the slums, really. You've always been involved in the health aspect, particularly for those children born with HIV. And I'm going to embarrass Susanne by saying that she's one of the foremost experts, really, anywhere in the world, but particularly in Asia, on HIV outreach. And she started her work at a time when it wasn't very popular at all to do that, and people feared it, and it wasn't even spoken about.
Well, in 1990, HIV/AIDS hit Mercy.
Yeah.
As in AIDS, not HIV, just the word AIDS. It hit Mercy. I don't think Father Joe ever thought of having an HIV/AIDS program at Mercy. Mostly his main goal was education. But then hospitals were approaching him. People in the community were diagnosed as having HIV positive, and they had nowhere to go, and they were dying.
Yeah.
And so Father Joe decided in 1990 was the first case of HIV/AIDS patient that Mercy started taking in. As a trained nurse, Father Joe asked me to take on the project.
Right.
And so in 1993, we started our first free HIV/AIDS hospice in Klong Ter, as far as I know, Klong Ter is the biggest slum in Bangkok.
In fact, when I went there first 18 years ago, the taxi drivers wouldn't even take me there because they were afraid of it, because of the whole phenomenon of drug dealing. And a lot of the drugs that end up in the world market, they came down from what was called then, and still is called, the Golden Triangle of Burma and Laos and Northeast Thailand, and they ended up in the Port Authority, which is where the Mercy Centre is. And that's why a lot of people got addicted to the suppliers, the mules as they were called. And that's where there was a big HIV and, as you said, AIDS, a fully blown AIDS outreach. Was it hard to get those children accepted in the larger society and going to school?
When we first started taking in, I hate the word cases. So when we was first starting in adult living with HIV, it never came across to us that we will be getting young babies coming in with HIV, because in those days we weren't really experienced. We knew nothing about HIV/AIDS. All that Father Joe wanted was to bring those people in and let them die peacefully. That was his goal. And then when we started taking in mothers and babies living with HIV positive, it was a great challenge because there was no medicine. So what do? So we started basically with no doctors, no medicine. So it's just us and nutritious meal that we can give, love, affectionate, and also accepting them as our family. So that was very, very
well, I
important.
remember well when I went there first, that young children there, they were breaking our hearts, they were dying. And there's nobody loved life more than, say, Duke Jing. Remember Duke Jing that we used to play for?
Yes.
But now they're happier times.
I
Now
know.
the meds are great. The Thai government has been wonderful. And now children who are HIV positive can have a normal lifespan.
Yes.
And Usani, well, has been more involved in that than anybody I know. It's a community effort, of course. But to this day, she's still involved. And now children who've grown up at the Mercy Centre and are now living and working as adults in the Thai community have an organisation which they named themselves called the Little Birds. It's like the little birds who've left the nest. And tell us a small bit about them.
Okay. You know, when first in an institution, at a certain age, they leave, or they have to leave if they want to leave, because they want the freedom, they want to be by themselves.
Yeah.
So this group of children, this group of young people left Mercy or as an institution, and they want to look after themselves. They want to be able to be responsible and take care of themselves instead of having adults looking after them. So they leave, and when they actually by themselves, they're lost. You know, they're happy and they're all over the place the first few months, and then after that they're totally lost. They don't know what to do with their life. They're taking medicine and they stop taking medicine. They stop having treatment. They don't know who to talk to. So they ring us and they say, can we help them? Can we be their counselor?
Right.
Can we work with them? Can we help them and support a team of young teenagers living with HIV/AIDS? Now we have 86 young people that they've teamed together and as a peer group, and they help and they support each other.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons that I was attracted to the Mercy Centre, rather than, say, many other organisations, there are so many wonderful organisations in the world, particularly in countries that have known a lot of poverty, that take care of children. And there's countless wonderful people who devote their lives to the humanitarian pursuit of doing just that. But when I saw the Mercy Centre, I felt right away it represented the gold standard. This is the right way to do it. The children, I expected when I went there first something kind of dark and sad. Absolutely the opposite. Cheerful, bright-eyed children running around, just enjoying their childhood, and healthy, well-fed, and being given the best opportunity that any children, as Usni says, no longer called the slums, it's the Tlong Toi community, could have. And that's why I was attracted to the Mercy Centre, say, above other organisations. And I'll hand over at this point, but not before thanking Conusini for coming along and gracing her with her presence. She's a great friend and a great humanitarian. I'll hand over to the mighty Donnie Carroll, who is co-producing this concert with me. Donnie.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to the 12th edition of the Mercy Centre Fundraiser, coming to you directly from the New York Irish Centre in Long Island City, New York. We're also coming to you from different locations tonight through video and modern technology. We'd like to thank everyone who have joined us here tonight, and we know that you, the viewers, will contribute as best you can to the GoFundMe page, which is also attached to the Facebook page. I'm joined on stage tonight by Mr. John Nolan on button accordion, Heather Bixler on fiddle, and we hope that you, the viewers, will enjoy your evening and tonight's entertainment. And with that, we'd like to get proceedings underway. So thanks very much, folks, for viewing tonight's show. Thank you. Aisling is an air hostess of the life of a global gypsy. Today she's home, by tomorrow she's flown to Rio, Rome or Sydney. While a million miles of plastic smiles, the glamour long since departed. He's applied for a transfer to Chicken, 'cause Dublin's where her heart is. It's nice to travel to the rainbow's end, meet new people, make new friends, find out what's up around the bend, to ramble and to roam. Then you hear a song or an Irish air, be it Raglan Road or she moved through the fair. You long for the rare old times over there, you love to be at home. I just drove to Central Park one day, I couldn't believe my hearing. There's a fella from Cork entertaining New York, and the pipes and the planks the Irwin. We talked of our travels around the world, of the wanderlust within us, how we love to sip and lick the cream from our lips of some decent pints of Guinness. It's nice to travel to the rainbow's end, meet new people, make new friends, find out what's up around the bend, to ramble and to roam. When you hear a song or an Irish air, be it Raglan Road or she moved through the fair, you long for the rare old times over there, you love to be at home. Last night I bumped into a friend they hadn't seen in ages. We talked of the rare old times we had, drinking our young man's wages. Well, he told me he lived in Africa now, but it seemed like the life of Riley. But after the few jars it all came out, the old sod he was pining. It's nice to travel to the rainbow's end, meet new people, make new friends, find out what's up around the bend, to ramble and to roam. When you hear a song or an Irish air, be it Raglan Road or she moved through the fair, you long for the rare old times over there, you love to be at home. It's nice to travel to the rainbow's end, meet new people, make new friends, find out what's up around the bend, to ramble and to roam. Then you hear a song or an Irish air, be it Raglan Road or she moved through the fair, you long for the rare old times over there, you love to be at home. Oh, well, as poor I am today, for God gave and took away, and left me no home put and no Hara, with me matches in me hand, in the frost and snow I stand. So it's here I am today, broken hearted. Oh, well, a cush the gal McCree, won't you buy a box for me? You'll have the prayers of them from Connemara. I'll sell you cheap and low, buy a box before you'll go, from your broken-hearted farmer down O'Hara. In the year of 64, we had acres by the score, the grandest land you ever laid a plough through. But the landlord came, you know, and he laid our poor home low. So it's here I am today, broken-hearted. Oh, well, a cush the gal McCree, won't you buy a box for me? You'll have the prayers of Dan from Connemara. I'll sell them cheap and low, buy a box before you'll go, from your broken-hearted farmer down O'Hara. Oh, for 20 years or more did misfortune cross our door. My poor old wife and I, we were parted. We were scattered far and wide, our children starved and died. So it's here I am today, broken hearted. Oh, well, a Krishna Galmacree, won't you buy a box from me? You'll have the prayers of Dan from Connemara. I'll sell them cheap and low, buy a box before you'll go, from your broken-hearted farmer Dan O'Hara. In the frost and snow I stand, in the shadow of God's hand. It lies warm upon the brow of Dan O'Hara. And soon with God above I will meet the ones I love, and I'll find the joy I lost in Connemara. Oh, well, a Krishna Galmacree, won't you buy a box from me? You'll have the prayers of Dan from Connemara. I'll sell it cheap and low, buy a box before you go, from your broken-hearted farmer Dan O'Hara. Oh, well, a Krishna Galmacree, won't you buy a box from me? You'll have the prayers of Dan from Connemara. I'll sell them cheap and low, buy a box before you go, from your broken-hearted farmer Dan O'Hara. You may talk of Columbus as sailing across the Atlantic Sea, but he never tried to go railing from Venice as far as Kilkee. You may run for the train in the morning, the excursion train starting at 8. You're there when the gal gives the warning, and there for an hour you'll wait. And as you're waiting in the train, you'll hear the guard pass this refrain. Are you right there, Michael, are you right? Do you think that we'll be home before the night? You've been so long and starting that you couldn't say for certain, and you might now, Michael, so it might. They find out where the engine's been hiding, and it brings it to Sweet Corrifin. Set the guard back or down on the siding, there's the goods from Kilrush coming in. Perhaps it comes in 2 hours, perhaps it breaks down on the way. If it doesn't, then God be the powers, we're here for the rest of the day. And as you sit and curse your luck, the train backs down into a truck. Are you right there, Michael, are you right? Have you got the parcel there from Mrs. White? You haven't, though, gotta say it's coming down tomorrow, and it might now, Michael, so it might. At Lahinch the sea shines like a jewel, with joy you were ready to shout. When the stoker cries out there's no fuel, and the fire is totally out. But hand up that bit of a log there, I'll soon have you out of the fix. There's a flank of a tough in the bog there, and the rest go a gather the sticks. And as you're breaking bits of trees, you'll hear some wise remarks like these. Are you right there, Michael, are you right? Do you think that you can get the fire to light? Oh, an hour you require, but the turf it might be drier, and it might now, Michael, so it might. Kilkee, oh, you'll never get near it. You're in luck if the train brings you back. For the permanent way is so queer, it spends most of his time off the track. Uphill the old engine is climbing, while the passengers push with their will. You're in luck if you're reaching his diamond, for all the way home is downhill. And as you're wobbling in the dark, you'll hear the guard pass this remark. Are you right there, Michael, are you right? Do you think that you'll be home before the night? Well, it's all dependent whether the old engine holds together, and it might now, Michael, so it might. And it might now, Michael, so it might.
Hello, how you doing? My name's Killian Valdy and I'm here with my good friend Dylan Foley. We're honoured to be asked to contribute a few tunes to this great cause, this great benefit organised by Donny and Mick, who are doing great work for many years now. We're going to do a few tunes in the pipes and fiddle, and we're going to start with a few piping tunes and 3 jigs. The first one is called The Humours of Draina. Second one's called And Jokatu Walyalum, or Will You Come Home With Me, and the last one's called Young Tom Ennis.
this is Michelle Mulcahy here in County Limerick in the southwest of Ireland tonight. I'm delighted to be able to perform for you as part of the fundraiser for the Mercy Centre, which I've had the pleasure of visiting on a few occasions with my great friend and mentor Mick Maloney. Tonight I will perform two pieces for you, one called O'Carlin's Cup, which is a centuries-old harp tune by the great Thurlock O'Carlin. The second piece is a set of jigs which is associated with the dance music of Ireland and are called Scatter the Mud and Buckling Bawn and the Lonesome Jig. I hope you enjoy, and congratulations to everybody at the centre for the amazing work you do.
from Dublin, and I'm joined today by Tom Dunn from Wexford. We're both long-time residents of Greenwich Village, New York City, and we're delighted to be performing for the Mercy Centre today, thanks to Mick Maloney and Donny Carroll for helping the children over in the Mercy Centre and for putting together this wonderful concert. I'm lucky enough, I've been over to the Mercy Centre myself a number of times performing, and also the last time I was there I taught a class, and the children are just amazing to do the dancing with. They're brilliant. So we're going to do a couple of reels. Maybe Tom will start off, I'll join in on the spoons, and then I think I'll do a bit of a dance. Tom, take it away. Okay.
Hello everybody, I'm Martin the Cogan from County Cork, and I'm coming to you on this fantastic event raising needy funds for the poorest of the poor in the slums of Bangkok. I'm delighted to be a part of this mission, for Father Joe has been doing great work, vital work, for those that no one wants to look after at the Mercy Centre. And now, in conjunction with Mick Maloney and Donny Carroll, we're all looking to you to help give a small bit, which means a huge amount for those that have nothing. Think of the cup of coffee you'll have today or tomorrow and put a value on that for you. And think of how far just that dollar amount or euro amount or sterling amount might travel out in Thailand. Send in something today and raise the hopes for tomorrow. Here's a song from Cork City called Johnny Go Boating. Cork City is an island nation floating higher every day, surrounded by 2 channels of the River Lee if they're not flooding. And long ago, way back up until the 1960s, people used to get a little ferry by to bring him over and back across the river before we had all the bridges. And Donny Carroll remembers those days and tells me that he even went for a spin in Larf Laherty's car. Sing along with the chorus now, and we'll see you later for a cup of tea. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating, kissing and courting. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Days of our youth when the sun always shone. Days of fond memories, oh, where have they gone? Days when I wandered away from the flock and went boating with Johnny away down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating, kissing and courting. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Next Sunday morning we'll lave the cold quay. We'll bring bread and butter and a bottle of tea. Oh, don't mind the weather, for if it'll rain, we'll pull into Dunkettle, come home by the train. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating, kissing and courting. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Down the marina the crowd will be grand. We'll listen a while to the Barrack Street Band. Back on the river and so on our way, just Johnny and me on our beautiful day. Sing along now. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating, kissing and courting. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. We'll have a few drinks at the Pierhead Bar. Go for a ride in Larf Laherty's car. Around by Ringman and back to the pier, where we'll row away home with the Johnny dear. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating, kissing and courting. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Back once again at the Colkey Wall, everything wrapped in me mother's old shawl. Happy as children as homeward we walk, with our arms round each other, too tired to talk. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating, kissing and courting. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. One more time with feeling. You at the back there. Can you hear me? Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Johnny go boating, kissing and courting. Johnny go boating down to Black Rock. Have a great event. And don't forget to give now.
Ah, love, 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 love. The beautiful Irish actress, the wonderful, the beautiful, the incredible Maureen O'Hara. I'm going to tell you a story about a man from County Tyrone who fell in love with Maureen O'Hara. Now, I must apologise in advance because some of the rhymes in this are somewhat strained. If you're aware of the work of the great Scottish poet William McGonagall, well, this would be in the same league or area. So apologies in advance for the strained rhymes. I'll tell you the story of Packy McCrory, who lived near the foot of our lane. He was a pure holy Tara for Maureen O'Hara, and dreaming of being John Wayne. His obsession begun in the year 61, after dandering one evening to town, when he juked in from the street to the picture house heat as the rain and the sleet pelted down. There, doused in jizz fluid, fleas chomped and fleas chewed as Packy sucked on a cinnamon sweet. Warm, dry and content, it was tuppence well spent, so he settled himself down for a sleep. But he never supposed, as he snuffled and dozed, that his world would soon turn around, for, like the prophet of old, he had just travelled the road towards Damascus. No, towards sweet Town. Packy was jolted awake by a creak in his neck which snapped him out of a dream, and as he opened his eyes, his jaw fell with surprise as he gazed at the face on the screen. Bewitched and beguiled by her shy, roguish smile, Cupid pricked Packy's heart
with an arrow, and he was swept off his feet in that cinema seat and fell in love with Maureen O'Hara. Clambering home by moonlight, he resolved that cold night to build a shrine to his Hollywood queen. He whitewashed his grey home and made his own white morn, painting the door an emerald green. He was a familiar sight on his old tandem bike, traversing the rocks of our lane as he crowed in his spree as loud as could be, in an accent he stole from John Wayne. For 35 years Packy choked back the tears when he thought of the girl of his dreams. None else could compare with her beauty so rare. He only had eyes for Maureen. At a late evening dance, a lassie hinted romance. Says the redhead, "Will I see you the morrow?" Packy sadly replied, a wistful look in his eyes, "No, you're nice, but you're no Maureen O'Hara." As he draped his coat over the white marble shoulder of a Madonna in the old ruined church, a storm fizzled and blew and soaked Packy through as he shivered in his white cotton shirt. Distant relatives prayed as he lay on his bed while his life ebbed away like a stream. Tears glistened his eyes as he silently sighed and hoarsely whispered the name, Maureen. He was buried alone neath a grey granite stone, having ploughed his lonely furrow. Neath this legend and story, here lays Packy McCrory, the man who loved Maureen O'Hara.
Mick Maloney here again, and this time I'm going to be launching into action with my trusted old banjo, a great old musical friend of mine. This is a Vega banjo made in America exactly 100 years ago, celebrating its 100th birthday, and doesn't it look well for an instrument of its age? Look at the beautiful work. And I suppose I play a few instruments, but at heart I'm a banjo driver, as we call it in Ireland. Going to play with two great friends of mine, Hayley Richardson, the wonderful young fiddle player from North Carolina, and Brenda Castles. And I met Brenda for the first time actually here in Bangkok, about 200 meters from where I'm talking, and we've become great friends. That was about 14 years ago. There's nothing really Irish musicians, traditional musicians, like to do better than play together. We're an extended family. We're a global extended family at this point. The music has gone well over the wall by this point. And there's nothing nicer than playing the music you love with people you really like. And hold in the highest regard, and it's friendship and it's music at the same time. No finer combination. We're going to start with three tunes that are actually all a tribute to Father Joe Meyer. Now, he's a Catholic priest, a Redemptorist, and he originally comes from North America, from North Dakota and then Washington State. He grew up in both those places. He's German ancestry and also Irish ancestry. And he's a Redemptorist priest, but he's never, ever tried to convert anybody. None of the children at the Mercy Centre have ever, been subjected to that whole conversion thing that, is very much a thing of the past. And we're delighted to play a tribute to Father Joe by three tunes that are all associated with priests in one way or another. Well, the names are. And names are funny things. They mightn't necessarily have anything to do with the actual music, but we love the names. First is called Tather Jack Walsh. Now, what's that got to do with the priest? Well, the actual name for a priest in the Gaelic language is An Tather. So Tather Jack Walsh is tattered, Jack Walsh, Father Jack Walsh, in anglicised. The second is the priest in his boots, and the third is the musical priest. And then I'm going to sing a song with Hayley. It's a song from the 1960s, I learned. It was composed by Ewan MacColl about a vanishing way of life of the travellers and of Western Europe and indeed of everywhere. And times are changing. It's called The Life of the Rover. Sometimes it's known, its more accurate title is The 30-Foot Trailer. And then Brenda and Haley are going to play a few tunes together. Then I'm going to sing a song from the Pennsylvania coal mines, which I'll actually talk about beforehand, with Athena Turgis, who was brought up in San Francisco, currently living in Tuscany. And then we'll finish our segment with a really special treat. I don't believe this has ever been done before. It's Haley playing with the Mercy Centre Orchestra and dancers. Now, I sent her this video of the orchestra. It's been in existence for over 15 years. And all the kids of Mercy are involved in one way or another. They play their Thai classical music and they play their folk music. And then after that they can do whatever they want, but as long as they're grounded in their own traditions, and there's beautiful dances that go along with these traditions, and it's a joy every Sunday morning to go there and see the whole place come alive with the sounds of this ancient beautiful culture. What I did a few weeks ago was to send a video I made of a Sunday morning session there. In fact, they were practicing, they weren't really performing. And Haley had the bright idea of putting herself together remotely with the orchestra. So this is the first that I know of. So anyway, here we go. The old ways are changing, you cannot deny. The day of the traveller's over. There's nowhere to go and there's nowhere to bide. So farewell to the 30-foot trailer. Farewell to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the travelling man. And farewell to the life of a rover. Farewell to the cant and the travelling tongue. Farewell to the Romany talking, the buying and selling, the old fortune telling, the knock on the door and the hawking. Farewell to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the travelling man. And farewell to the life of a rover. You've got to move fast to keep up with the times, for these days a man cannot donder. There's a bylaw to say you must be on your way. There's another to say you can't wander. Farewell to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the travelling man. And farewell to the life of a rover. Farewell to the pony, the cob and the mare, the reins and the harness are idle. You don't need a strap to be breaking up scrap. So farewell to the bit and the bridle. Farewell to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the travelling man. And farewell to the life of a rover. Cannot deny, the day of the traveller's over. There's nowhere to go and there's nowhere to bide. So farewell to the 30-foot trailer. Farewell to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the travelling man. And farewell to the life of a rover.
Hi everyone, here's a few tunes from myself and Hayley, and we're going to play a jig into two reels. Here in Ireland, everybody has been jumping on the sea swimming bandwagon to stay sane during the pandemic, so I've been doing a good bit of sea swimming as well. So we're going to start off with the rolling wave and go into the lads of Laois. Laois is probably the most landlocked county in Ireland, so don't know why that one's next, but anyway. And then we'll finish up with Charlie Lennon's Kilty Town. Enjoy. 1, 2, 3, 4.
arrived in America in 1973 and ended up in Philadelphia. And the first trip I made outside of the city with my old sparring partner and musical companion Eugene O'Donnell was up to the coal mining regions of Scranton and Wilkes-Barre. And I was welcomed up there by a wonderful group of Irish Americans that were part of an organisation called the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick, an immigrant relief organisation. And they rotated their membership every year between Catholic and Protestant, very ecumenical. I had a great welcome up there, and I was intrigued to find a whole living tradition of song, sung by singers up there. There were members of a group called the Molly Maguires and another group called the Irish Balladeers. A lot of the songs were about the coal mining tradition of that part of Pennsylvania, the anthracite coal mines. And in particular, there was one songwriter who seemed to have the attention and voice of the people, a man called Con Carbon. He was a small man with a big voice, and he was known as the minstrel of the mine patch. And he wrote a lot of songs about miners' rights and the suffering of miners under the fairly unscrupulous practices of the Reading Railroad Company, run by the infamous Franklin Gowan. And a lot of the songs were about the conditions that the miners suffered in their daily lives, and always being kept in debt by the companies to ensure their compliance. Ironically enough, that part of Pennsylvania, Scranton and Wilkes-Barre, as Joe Biden knows well, was the locus of the beginnings of labor organization in the East Coast of America, and perhaps in the whole of America. And this is a song that celebrates that. It's very ironic. In that it's called When the Breaker Starts Up Full Time. But the breaker, which was the last stage the coal process went through before going on the market, it never started up full time because it was a ploy, a very deliberate ploy to always keep miners in debt, miners and their families in debt. And joining me again in this song is the wonderful Athena Turgis in Tuscany, Italy. When the Breaker Starts Up Full Time. Our Charles are old Mrs. Murphy, but the Dutchman next door tells me straight that the mines are on full time on Monday. That's what he tells me at any rate. Sure, the boss, he says, told him this morning as he was about entering the mine that the coal is quite scarce around Philly, so the rumour is work full time, and it's as sure if the news be true. Me store bill's the first thing I'll pay. A stuffed parlour suit and a lounge I will buy, and an organ for Virgie, hooray. Me calico shirt I will throw in the dirt, in me silk one won't I cut to shine. When we get the advance, we'll put Seamus in pants, when the breaker starts up full time. I'll ne'er stick me fist in the wash tub, the Chinaman he'll have me train. I'll ne'er pick a coal from the dirt bank, but I'll buy everything ready-made. And we'll dress up our children like fairies, and build up a house big and fine, and we'll move away from the hungries when the breaker starts up full time. And it's as sure if the news be true, me store bill's the first thing I'll pay. A stuffed parlour suit and a lounge I will buy, and an organ for Virgie, hooray. Me calico shirt I will throw in the dirt, in me silk one won't I cut to shine. When we get the advance, we'll put Seamus in pants, when the breaker starts up full time.
everyone. I hope you're all keeping well. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'm delighted to be a part of this as always. It's genuinely one of my favorite times of the year to be a part of this concert. And ever since I was introduced to the Mercy Centre by Mick and Donnie, it's been something very special to me. And I've had the pleasure of going over to visit the kids quite a few times and kind of get a little glimpse into what their life is like at the Mercy Centre and what they do over there, and meet some of the people who run it. And it's just a fascinating thing and really, really brilliant. And one of my favorite parts of the entire experience is on Saturday mornings when the kids meet for their traditional Thai music and dance class. And it's just amazing to see them perform, and just the happiness that it brings them is wonderful. So I've always been really fascinated by the instruments that they play and the type of music that they play. And I thought it would be really interesting, given the format this year kind of lends itself to being able to do things in increments. So I had Mick send me a video of the kids playing their music and dancing, and I thought it might be interesting to maybe join them for one of their pieces. So hopefully I do it justice, but it's really just about bringing the kids into this and making them a part of this. I thought it would be a really interesting thing to do and very fun. So I hope you enjoy, and here it goes.
Good evening, my name is Claire Horgan and I come from South Kerry in Ireland, and I'm very honoured to be part of an illustrious list of fantastic artists who are helping to raise funds for a very worthy cause, the Mercy Centre in Bangkok. So today I'm going to sing you a song from my album which is currently being recorded. It's a local song by a poet called Tomosro O'Sullivan. He was a contemporary of Daniel O'Connell, so this song is over 200 years old. It talks about a trip out to the Skelligs Rocks where the famous monastic settlements are, and it was on the 29th of September over 200 years ago to celebrate the feast day of St. Michael, the patron saint of the Skelligs Rocks and of the Ballinskelligs area where I currently live. It is a beautiful soft morning, or Majin Vogolin, and everybody is very happy, half asleep on the boat, when suddenly they hear shouts from the captain of the boat that they're in trouble. A swell has happened, a storm is rising. So the priest says many prayers and instructions are thrown around, and everybody does exactly what they're told, and they tack in, they change direction, and they end up in Portmagee, close enough to where they started out, safely drinking flagons of cider. Thank you very much. This comes from my album, which is currently being recorded, The Songs from the Hills of Kerry. Madan Vogalin Imonashkalo Dalek Triel Conafrin Grover Day Diary gone to Will Rovur Safarika Le Fooder Farin Dortige The Vakni Gun Clue Gussie sold the castle Eg jen of Kunanus Gandarira Nor a fake unfirst Asmahu and the Frabus The Viv Simchala is to shiv me Keki achan boder van faden So shame my is the bordile Nur a squeal der knai biscor di roire Kja clore knaga si e gros marfile The yenemer istora horse taringa Sranek brule shuna nirte Nirevlus garandlin on winka dangen she Ganaimer ga carry glass ordnave Vi carig lomoin mar croinig scratherun Tish and alpalen nordiv clay Balapna ne the yemar har of ruin Is there no near Hasha than Yeroni gave Ked malele is a Christ nar kailukshin is not for a shin time gone farika Akfana marish gadi gon chalmu Agus rachum dan karik le kumuf day. Fianta here dear met gadine gagir terin an angle on cruyak say. The hula so say nook the farish. Nur a dur che on pajir o sorgium gler. The glanum we're winter reed gil carrock. Fion golidias gamim tash kalama. Near Stadmer ten screap ganaimer than chala. Augustolemer flaggen Idican vigil.
and the garden will grow again soon. Yes, the garden will grow again soon, for the garden she grows with the moon. Yes, the garden she grows with the moon. Sing, lilies, sing, lilies, sing, Gillavor in time. Sing, lilies, sing, lilies, sing, marjoram and chive. How the waves will flow once again, and the fennel is sown when she's new. Yes, the fennel is sown when she's new, and all is one with the moon. Yes, all is one with the moon. Sing, Molly, sing, Molly, sing, aniseed and sage. Sing, Molly, sing, Molly, sing, caraway and maize. Moon put on should a horse. Now we gather our soil and charms as she shines her eternal course. Mandrake the lunar snake, now we carry our barrels at night and fill them with the sweet moonlight. Ah, the waves will shine once again, and the marjoram is sown when she is full. Yes, the marjoram is sown when she is full, and the garden is chained to her pull. Yes, the garden is chained to her pull. Sing, Molly, sing, Molly, sing, aniseed and sage. Sing, Molly, sing, Molly, sing, caraway and maize. Ah, the skies will shine once again, and the basil is sown at her wane. Yes, the basil is sown at her wane, and the cycle of life starts again. Yes, the cycle of life starts again. Sing, lilies, sing, lilies, sing, Gillavor in time. Sing, lilies, sing, lilies, sing, marjoram and chive. Sing, Molly, sing, Molly, sing, aniseed and sage. Sing, Molly, sing, Molly, sing, caraway and maize.
Where are you going? Said the false, false nights to the pretty little child on the road.
I'm a-going to me school, said the pretty little child, and she only 7 years old.
What have you in the bag? Said the false, false nights to the pretty little child on the road.
I've a cut of bread and butter, said the pretty little child, and she only 7 years old.
What have you in the flask? Said the false, false nights to the pretty little child on the road.
I've a pint of holy water, said the pretty little child, and she only 7 years old.
Oh, dashing in the ditch, said the false, false knight, the pretty little child on the road.
Asha, that would be a sin, said the pretty little child, and she only 7 years old.
What's wronger than the ring, said the false, false knight, to the pretty little child on the road.
The arch is rounder than the ring, said the pretty little child, and she only 7 years old.
What's higher than the sky, said the false, false knight, to the pretty little child on the road.
Heaven is higher than the sky, said the pretty little child, and she only 7 years old.
Won't you come along with me to the false, false knight, the pretty little child on the road?
I'll not go along with you, said the pretty little child, and she only 7 years old. And he all went up in flames with the false, false knight, and a pretty little child on the road. 'Twas the devil in disguise was the false, false knight, and she only 7 years old.
Greetings to all our friends down there in New York, and also our friends in Thailand, to Father Joe and his wonderful crew. We're happy to be a part of this, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We're here on the coast of Maine, and we're going to do a song for you called Craigie Hill. It being in the springtime, and the small birds were singing down by the shady harbor, I carelessly did stray. The thrushes they were warbling, the violets were charming, to hear two lovers talking a while I did delay. She said, my love, don't leave me for another season, though if fortune does be pleasing, I will go along with you. I'll forsake friends and relations and quit this Irish nation, and to the bonny banks forever will I bid adieu. He said, my dear, don't grieve me, nor yet annoy my patience, although I love you dearly, the more I am going away, for I go to a foreign nation to purchase a plantation, to comfort us hereafter, all in America. And after a short while, if fortune does be pleasing, we will make them for to smile at our late going away. We'll be happy as Queen Victoria, all in her greatest glory. We'll be drinking wine and porter, all in America. The landlords and their agents, the bailiffs and their beagles, the land of our forefathers, they forced us to give o'er. Now we're safe for honor and promotion, and parted from our sweethearts, 'tis them we do adore. If you were in your bed lying and thinking on dying, just the sight of the lovely banks, your sorrow you would give o'er. And if you went down 1 hour by yon shady bower, such pleasure would surround you, you'd think on death no more. So fare thee well, sweet craggy hill, where oftentimes I've roved. I never thought my childhood days I would part you anymore. Now we're sailing on the ocean for honor and promotion, and the bonny boats are sailing down by Durin's shore.
We are delighted to be a part of this fundraiser organised by Donny Carroll and Mick Maloney, and which will benefit children in the slums of Bangkok. For the first set of tunes, we'll honour the memory of 2 great masters of Irish fiddling, both of whom had lived in the United States. Here we go with Paddy Cronin's slide and Dennis Murphy's slide.
now continue with two more tunes from the Slívluachar tradition. This time we feature two polkas for which there is a choice of names. They are known as Dintarn's polkas and also as the Lonesome polkas. We hope you enjoy.
Hi Donny and Mick and everybody that's involved with the Mercy Centre event tonight. Sorry I can't be with you. It's such a pity that we can't have a real event, but maybe we can next year. I've no doubt it's going to be a brilliant success, and I just want to thank Donny and Mick for asking me to sing a song. I was honoured. So good luck. I hope you make loads of money tonight, and this is a song that I learned from the great Jimmy McCarthy, a Corkman, another Corkman like Donny, and it's one of my favourite Jimmy McCarthy songs. I hope you like my version of it. I skimmed across black water without once emerging onto the banks of an urban morning. Oh, that hungers the first light much more than mountains ever do. For she, like a ghost beside me, goes down with the ease of a dolphin
and emerges unlearned, unshamed, unharmed. For she is a perfect creature, natural in every feature, and I am the geek with the outcomer's tone. For all of you who must discover, for all who seek to understand, for having left the path of others, who to find a very special hand. And it is a holy thing, and it is a precious time, and it is the only way. Forget-me-nots among the snow, it's always been, and so it goes, to ponder his death and his life eternally. One bright blue rose outlives all those 2,000 years, and still it grows, to ponder his death and his life eternally.
Well, hello everybody, Roy Buckley here. I'm delighted to be taking part in such a great event for the Mercy Centre to help out the poor people and the kids living in the worst of conditions in the slums of Bangkok. And I want to thank my pal Donny Carroll for asking me to be part of this event. They do amazing work, and I'm very proud to be doing this and to be part of an event with so many great entertainers and artists and musicians as well. Well done everybody. I'm going to do a song for you guys. I hope this helps, and it's great to be able to try and give somebody else a better quality of life. So well done to everybody involved. Here's a song I wrote called The Old Man on Patrick Street, which is currently in the running for 2 Grammy Awards for Song of the Year and Record of the Year. It's now at the voting stage, and I'm hoping that it makes the top 5 nominees on the 24th of November. Fingers crossed. But anyway, here's a song called The Old Man on Patrick Street. He's there in the sun and he's there in the rain. All the lines on his face showing his pain. Nothing to live for and nothing to gain. Every day in his life is all just the same. For the old man on Patrick Street, he's walking the streets day and night. His hands all wrinkled and his hair is snow white. A champion fighter one time in his life, but nobody cares about old boxing fights. He's the old man on Patrick Street, and darkness falls, no one hears him call, but the moon and the stars of the night. Tonight he sleeps alone wife left him and tore him apart. But he found a new lover, keeps him warm in the dark. She's Nancy Whiskey, he keeps her close to his heart. He's the old man on Patrick Street. I saw him last weekend, man, he got old, worn out clothes and his story untold. Asleep on a bench out in the cold, Nancy beside him, the woman in gold. He's the old man on Patrick Street. And Douglas falls, no one hears him call, but the moon and the stars of the night. Tonight he sleeps alone. How can we do this to our own? Sweet Jesus, won't you hear him tonight? I passed by today by that old man's bed. An empty whiskey bottle lay there instead. Someone left flowers and a note that read, a short message remembering the dead. For the old man on Patrick Street. For the old man on Patrick Street. Well, thank you all very much. I hope that lots and lots of funds are raised, and well done to everybody involved in doing this for the Mercy Centre. I hope it makes a big difference. Thank you all.
Hello, it's really nice to be part of this event in raising money for the Mercy Centre to help the people in Bangkok. I wish you all the best.
Chaboka, don't worry, the springtime is coming, and we'll soon have the pale March moon. Our cattle will graze in lush green valleys soon. Look, I know last year's harvest was dry as a bone, but who knows what this year will bring. And I must admit, last night when we're sleeping, I heard the cornfields sing. As they swayed, they said, tomorrow's another day. Chaboka, don't worry, you'll soon have our baby, safe and warm on the rug. I'll buy the new plow I seen in the paper, and soon have the bottom fields dug. Then I'll buy you the new dress you stare at each Sunday, the one with the sweet yellow bow. You'll put on your makeup, your old pretty hat, and out dancing we'll go. How we'll sway, tomorrow's another day. Chaboka, I'm sorry, but them bailiffs are outside. They have rifles and rifle balls. So take our baby and all of our savings and wrap them up in your shawl, and go to the oak tree that lies by the river. Wait till the sun has fled, and if I'm not there, then go to your brothers and presume that I'm dead, but never sway. Tomorrow's another day. Chaboka, don't worry, all the bailiffs lie dead. Their bodies are there by the wall. But by the look of my bleeding and the shortness of my breath, I won't make summer nor fall. But this debt dies with me, so bring him up easy. Show him wrong from right. Teach him to live, teach him to learn, teach him to love and to fight, but never, ever, ever sway. Tomorrow's another day. Well, that was the story of Chaboka and Joey, just like many more of our time. I'm not really sure if they really existed, but they sure do in my mind. And if you're out on the prairie and you see a young lady with a red dress and a lovely bow, just think of poor Joey, he up there in heaven, and remember, wherever you go, never sway. Tomorrow's another day.
I'm Rory Makem, and I salute Dr. Mick Maloney and Donnie Carroll for everything they do for the Mercy Centre in Thailand. A song for the season we're in. The sun comes over the top of the hill. It shines on the fields I've yet to till. My bones are weary, but I know I will. Not just because you ask it. Rake and hoe hung on 20-penny nails. Milk lies sweet in a dozen pails. Hay tied up in 100 bales. And apples in a basket. A house that's tight to the wind and snow. A barn that's full of the things we grow. An empty purse, but I don't owe a thing to any man living. A woman warm, a woman kind. A woman who knows her own sweet mind. A woman who knows just what's behind the things that she's forgiven. There's branches on the family tree. A boy, a girl, and a baby's 3. They look like her, they look like me. Like folks that's dead and gone now. But I don't care, we're all the same. There's none to bless and none to blame. We'll do it in the family name. The work we carry on now. The old grey goose is on the wing, oh, but he'll be back again next spring, next year. We'll do the same old thing, and the same old wheel go spinning. When the air is warm and the earth is sweet, and the good clean dirt is round our feet, the circle comes around complete, and the end is the beginning. The sun comes over the top of the hill. It shines in the fields I've yet to till. My bones are weary, but I know I will. And not just because you ask it. Rake and hoe hung on 20-penny nails. Milk lies sweet in a dozen pails. Hay piled up in 100 bales. And apples in a basket.
Hi everybody, I hope you're all safe and well. I'm really delighted that Mick Maloney has asked me to contribute to this concert in aid of the Mercy Centre. I'm sending my very best wishes to you. I'm originally from Abbeyfield in County Limerick, which is about an hour from Limerick City where Mick Maloney grew up. And I've heard so many great stories and so many great reports of all the work that's done at the Mercy Centre and of all the wonderful people that are there too. And hopefully maybe when things ease I will get to meet some of you at the centre. But I'm going to play a couple of reels for you. I'm going to play these for Mick and I'm going to play these for all of you listening. A couple of lively reels. The first one is called The Cabin Hunter. And the second one is another lively tune. And the third one is called The Road to Ballygreen. So I'll give these a go.
Well, hello friends, my name is Tom Sweeney and I'm talking to you and I'm going to be singing to you from Omagh in the County Tyrone here as part of the fantastic fundraiser for the Mercy Centre, and I'm very honoured to have been asked by the great Mick Maloney to contribute a few songs in such esteemed and august company. So thanks very much, Mick. I'm going to sing you a song to begin with that I got from the singing of my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. She was a woman called Sarah Macomb, and probably quite well known now for the songs which she contributed to the canon of Irish balladry, I suppose. She knew hundreds upon hundreds of songs and sang them all the time. She sang from daybreak to sundown, and a lot of the songs she sang were very long. And my grandfather always said, you know, see, your granny is great to live with because the songs she sings will certainly shorten the winter for us. But people came from far and wide to learn songs from her. I was lucky. I would just learn them in her house, and she had so many beautiful songs. You can find out all about her on, I suppose, the website. I don't know what it's called, but on the computer, YouTube maybe. Anyway, a lovely song for all the people listening and for all the great work being done at the Mercy Centre. From Sarah Macomb's repertoire, it's called I Wish My Love Was a Red, Red Rose. I wish my love was a red, red rose growing in yon garden fair, and me to be the gardener of her I would take care. There is not a month throughout the year but my love I'd renew. I would garnish her with laurels fine, sweet William, thyme and rue. And I wish I was a butterfly, I would light on my love's breast. And if I was a blue cuckoo, I'd sing my love to rest. And if I was a nightingale, I'd sing to daylight clear. I would sit and sing for you, Molly, for once I loved you, dear. And I wish I was in Dublin and seated on the grass, in my right hand a jug of punch, and on my knee, alas, I would call for liquor freely, and I'd pray before I go. And I'd roll my darling in my arms, let the wind blow high or low. And I wish my love was a red, red rose growing in yon garden fair, and me to be the gardener of her I would take care. There is not a month throughout the year but my love I'd renew. I would garnish her with laurels fine, sweet William, thyme and rue. I'd garnish her with laurels fine, sweet William, thyme and rue. There you go. It's a lovely song from the singing of my grandmother Sarah Macomb. It's called I Wish My Love Was a Red, Red Rose, for all the great people who are watching and supporting the great work being done by the Mercy Centre in Bangkok there. When myself and Mick Maloney, when we do meet up, we invariably sing this song here. It's an old song from Donegal, from the town of Buncrana. I once knew an old man who lived on the side of the mountain in Buncrana, a place called Sleevesnacht, and his name was James Anthony Patrick O'Donnell, and everyone called him Jap. But Jap lived in nothing more than a hovel really on the side of Sleevesnacht, but he had a brother went off in the 1930s to live in Staten Island, and he came back home after many years, and he was staying with Jap in this abode on the side of the mountain, and he was sitting taking his breakfast one morning, eating his cornflakes, and Jap began to stare at him. And then Jap's dog put his paws on the table, and he began to stare at the Yank eating his breakfast as well. And the Yank said, "Gee, Jap, that's a really friendly dog you have there." And Jap said, "You know what? He knows his own wee bowl." Buncrana, Donegal. This is a song called The Buncrana Train. Some people like to have a drive while others like to row. Young people growing up in life according they will go. But if the evening does prove fine and does not threaten rain, then I prefer a trip to Fawn on the Buncrana train. For Crockett is the driver and Boner is the guard, and if you have your ticket, all cares you can discard. Let you be fop or summer swell, to them it's all the same. For every man must pay his fare on the Buncrana train. Now localists, provocalists, and them that like to sing, I'm sure McGarvey will be there to dance a Highland fling. For singing and for dancing, to him it's all the same, for he's the sole musician on the Buncrana train. For Crockett is the driver and Boner is the guard, and if you have your ticket, all cares you can discard. Let you be fop or summer swell, to them it's all the same, for every man must pay his fare on the Buncrana train. We pass Bridgend and reach Burnfoot, and there we make a call to view that ancient city and its corporation hall. The king of Tory Island is a man of widespread fame. His royal carriage is attached to the Buncrana train. For Crockett is the driver and Boner is the guard, and if you have your ticket, all cares you can discard. Let you be fop or summer swell, to them it's all the same, for every man must pay his fare on the Buncrana train. We go to Fawn to have a dip and walk along the strand, then up the road to have a cup of coffee at the stand. The barmaid, she is charming, with her you can remain until it's time for to get back on the Buncrana train. For Crockett is the driver and Boner is the guard, and if you have your ticket, all cares you can discard. Let you be fop or summer swell, to them it's all the same, for every man must pay his fare on the Buncrana train. For Crockett is the driver and Boner is the guard, and if you have your ticket, all cares you can discard. Let you be fop or summer swell, to them it's all the same, for every man must pay his fare on the Buncrana train. Yes, every man must pay his fare on the Buncrana train. Thanks very much for inviting me, Mick. It was great to talk to you last Saturday, and to all your viewers and listeners and all the other musicians who are contributing to this wonderful concert. God bless you all. Chat soon. Bye.
Hello, my name is Dylan Foley, and this is the great Killian Valley, and we're about to play a few tunes for you next. These are three of our favorite reels: The Cottage in the Grove, Kiss the Maid Behind the Barrel, and the wonderful tune called Rip the Calico. And we're going to send these out to our wonderful friends over at the Mercy Center over in Bangkok. I was lucky enough to visit them a few times, and we'll send these out to Father Joe and Sister Louise. Great people, and it's such a great cause. So, thank you.
on a summer's evening in the merry month of May. I was coming from the fair of Capelmore. I was driving home 30 pair of petals by the way, when I chanced to stop outside a cottage door. I just dropped in to light me pipe as any lad might do when going to or coming from the fair. When I spied a pretty colleen with 2 eyes of melting blue, 'twas then me heart felt really very queer. Ah, sure, I love to ramble down the old Boreen when the hawthorn blossoms are in bloom, and to sit by the gate on that old mossy seat, whispering to Kate Muldoon. I was coming from me farm down the neighbouring Boreen when I met me kitty tripping like a fawn. She gave me such a smile that I felt like in a dream, and I never slept a week that night till dawn. And the next time that I met her, sure I told her of me love. She smiled and nearly let her basket fall, and she said, go on, you skimmer, with a gentle little shove. And then they asked me father, that was all. Ah, sure, I love to ramble down the old Boreen when the hawthorn blossoms are in bloom, and to sit by the gate on that old mossy seat, whispering to Kate Muldoon. I was trashing in me barn when a father came one day. St. Patsy Hogan, what is this I've heard? You be speaking to me daughter now, and what have you to say? 'Twas then they couldn't say a single word. Then he took me by the hand and said, Patrick, my son, I'd be glad to see you settle down in life. And since you love me daughter and her heart is nearly won, a shroud time you can make the girl your wife. Ah, sure, I love to ramble down the old Boreen when the hawthorn blossoms are in bloom, and to sit by the gate on that old mossy seat, whispering to Kate Muldoon. Ah, sure, I love to ramble down the old Boreen when the hawthorn blossoms are in bloom, and to sit by the gate on that old mossy seat, whispering to Kate Muldoon.
Well, we've come to the end of our concert, and I'd like to thank all the wonderful artists, Irish and Irish American artists, who've contributed so generously, so unselfishly to this wonderful cause of fundraising for the Mercy Centre here in Bangkok. The Mercy Centre, the Human Development Foundation to which it's associated, takes care of the poorest of the poor, those children who have fallen between every net in the society and who would not be alive today and enjoying the life they enjoy without all the wonderful people who work at the Mercy Centre. They're dependent on funding from people like ourselves and yourselves. And I hope you find it in your hearts to make, according to your means, as generous a contribution as you can to this extraordinary organisation. I'd like to thank Donnie Carroll for being my partner in this enterprise. And to all of you, I hope we meet down the road.